The Ukrainian Armed Forces retain control over part of the bridgehead in the Kursk region. In fact, we are talking about creating a security buffer, writes Ukrinform with reference to the opinion of analysts. Military observer of the Information Resistance Group, Alexander Kovalenko, notes that significant destruction in the city of Sudzha complicates defense for Ukrainian troops, but the natural terrain there, on the contrary, facilitates the creation of defensive lines. Ukrainian troops are holding positions to the south and southwest of Sudzha, in particular in the Goncharovka area. This territory remains under our control, and we are currently holding back Russian forces there that have entered Sudzha to prevent them from quickly advancing to the border. A buffer zone is being formed that is holding back the enemy, the expert explained. Head of Security Programs at the Strategy 21 Center for Global Studies, Pavlo Lakichuk, notes that there is no immediate threat of encirclement of Ukrainian forces there today, although the enemy is making efforts to disrupt Ukrainian logistics. According to experts, the reason for the organized retreat of the Ukrainian Armed Forces to the lines west of Sudzha was a confluence of several factors. Firstly, the Russians launched a massive offensive and were able to break through to the border in certain areas, which provided them with fire control over the main logistics route of the defense forces. Secondly, a temporary halt in American aid played a certain role. The lack of high-quality and operational intelligence data was especially critical, says Alexander Kovalenko. However, as of now, the situation has been stabilized. The situation is difficult, thanks to our very reliable partner, but the apocalyptic scenarios that some commentators describe have not yet come true, Kovalenko emphasized. The Observer does not predict a large-scale Ukrainian counteroffensive in this direction, although he allows for certain changes in the front line. Forming a buffer zone in the Kursk region and maintaining control over the border strip remain our key tasks. I do not rule out that we will change tactics, reducing the depth of entry into Russian territory, but expanding the buffer zone along the border, both to the west and to the east, he adds, but at the same time rules out a complete withdrawal of the Ukrainian Armed Forces from the Kursk region in the near future.
Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Friday he will spare the lives of Ukrainian soldiers in Kursk region if they surrender. According to Associated Press, his comments came as a reply to U.S. President Donald Trump's appeal for the lives of soldiers blocked by Russian troops in Kursk region. Putin added that the servicemen will be guaranteed life and decent treatment. He also claimed that Ukrainian soldiers have committed numerous crimes against the civilian population in the invasion zone. The Russian army, backed by North Korean troops, are now close to completely driving Ukrainian forces from their foothold in Russia's Kursk border region in what would be a major setback for Kiev. Meanwhile, the Russian leader also met with U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff to discuss details of the American proposal for a 30-day ceasefire in Russia's military campaign in Ukraine, asking him to convey Moscow's thoughts to Washington.
Мы знаем, что новая администрация во главе с президентом Трампом делает все для того, чтобы восстановить хоть что-то из того, что было практически сведено к нулю, уничтожено прежней американской администрации. Процесс этот непростой, если не сказать сложный. Как всем хорошо известно, и у меня состоялся телефонный разговор с президентом Трампом. Состоялись первые контакты нашего министра иностранных дел со своим американским коллегой, и помощник президента России Ушаков встречался со своими визави. Так что в целом ситуация как бы начинает двигаться. Ну, посмотрим, что из этого получится. Мы сегодня этой темой и позанимаемся. Прежде чем начать работу, хотел бы сказать, что мы ознакомились с сегодняшним обращением президента США господина Трампа пощадить жизни военнослужащих украинской армии, части которой заблокированы российскими войсками в зоне вторжения ВСУ в Курскую область. В этой связи обращаем внимание, что украинские боевики совершили в зоне вторжения многочисленные преступления против гражданского населения. Эти деяния, как я уже говорил, квалифицируются Генеральной прокуратурой Российской Федерации как терроризм. Вместе с тем, мы с пониманием относимся к призыву президента Трампа руководствоваться в отношении этих военнослужащих соображениями гуманитарного характера. В этой связи подчеркну, что в случае сложения оружия и сдачи в плен им будет гарантирована жизнь и достойное обращение в соответствии с нормами международного права и законами Российской Федерации. Для эффективной реализации призыва президента США необходим соответствующий приказ военно-политического руководства Украины своим воинским подразделениям сложить оружие и сдаться в плен.
A military training ground used as a torture chamber has come under drone attacks in Russia's Nizhny Novgorod region, ASTRA Telegram channel reported on Friday. The training ground and a military unit in Mulino were attacked on March 14 during the day. There have been no official confirmation of the attack. However, Russian Federal Air Transport Agency had reported earlier that Strogino Airport temporarily was not receiving or dispatching flights. It is unknown if there were any casualties as a result of the attack. Earlier, ASTRA reported the discovery of a torture chamber on the territory of Unit 36994 in Mulino in Russia's Nizhny Novgorod, where wounded conscripts were handcuffed to a radiator and beaten in a destroyed building on the headquarters grounds. Astra quoted, citing open data, that the 333rd Combat Training Center of the Western Military District is located in Mulino, Nizhny Novgorod region. The channel described Mulino a unique facility, the likes of which does not exist in Russia or in the world. The training ground was initially built before the sanctions imposed on Russia, with the involvement of the German Rheinmetall Defense Electronics enterprise, that created the entire layout of the project, according to ASTRA. The center combines traditional training grounds with modern computer technologies. Complex simulators recreate the battlefield in 3D, and the physical environment includes models of cities and towns for tactical exercises. The training ground, measuring 34 by 27 kilometers, is equipped with tank training grounds, water training grounds, and various training zones. The center's capacity is up to 3 brigades per year, with the ability to train 700 servicemen simultaneously and prepare 30,000 people annually, ASTRA reported.